Good morning. Thank you once again for welcoming me into your space. It feels good to have started the year off in such a wonderful and gracious manner. So, you know what? Today I've got a very, I'd say, controversial topic that I'm going to talk about. Because we've got your biggest entrepreneurs telling us that school doesn't teach us anything about the real world. And what we're learning in school is a whole lot of waste of time and that we need to be looking elsewhere. I'm going to give you a different opinion today. So let's dive right in. I am Father Abraham. So, as controversial as it may be, yes, I may not be one of your biggest entrepreneurs out there, but because I know how to find the lessons where some people don't, this is why I'm telling you that school is not a complete waste of time, young black child. What we are saying is that you've got different lessons that you need to be able to take away from school. Not everything is bad and not everything is school. So, you know what? Let's unpack that. Let's start off with the most obvious one, which is time. You need to be on school on time, correct? You need to get there, say about 7:30, school starts, 2 o'clock, school comes out. What's the lesson that you learn from there? You've got an event that you're planning as a business person. You've got an event that you're planning as a project manager. You've got a meeting that you need to run to as an executive of some company or just as an ordinary employee, right? So which means that if they're telling you that this event, this project starts at 3 p.m., it's going to end in the evening at 8, you know that you need to be punctual. So number one, first lesson, punctuality, right? And we're also looking at things like start and finish time. How do I set and manage my time? How do I wake up on time to ensure that I get to work at 8 o'clock if I start at 8 or I get to work at 9 a.m. That you learn from school, knowing when to wake up, when to leave. You're being taken to school by your parents or you're being taken to school by transportation. That's lesson number one. And let's speak about uniform, like me. You see, Lekapo. All right. So this is my company, Lekapo. You know, everyone has some form of identification. Whenever you walk into a bank, everybody's wearing uniform. Whenever you walk into different workplaces, people are wearing uniform. But uniform doesn't only teach you how to be an employee and how to be a person that's just stand in line and follow, which is what a lot of our entrepreneurs are telling us. The uniform teaches us how to dress for an occasion. As an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a successful person, in whatever field you may succeed in, right? Excuse me. There is always a work or dress code to the different places. If you invite me to a black tie event and I rock up in tattered jeans and I rock up with a t-shirt, I rock up with a wife beater, have I adhered to the event that you've invited me to? Absolutely not. So that's where the uniform comes in. We wear uniform at school to help us learn that whenever you attend a different event, whatever you attend, there is always a dress code towards what you attend and always dress for the occasion and ensure that you're neat. You know, obviously, we've gone to school, all of us, most of us. We know there are those children who will mix and match, who wear their uniform in not such the greatest way. I'm not saying those children are not going to be successful. All I'm saying is that once you start learning the different lessons that you can unpack from school, school doesn't become a drag anymore. You know, so obviously I made a couple of notes, just to make sure that everything gets unpacked properly. Now let's think about it in such a way that the children, the children that we meet there, making new friends and learning how to keep friendships is one of the most important things you can learn as a human being. It is vital to learn who your real friends are, how to keep real friends, and how to treat each other as friends. This is the part that also helps us work in the networking part. This is the part that helps us to learn how do you call it? Dealing with dislikes. Dealing with ass kissing. There's a lot of ass kissing in the offices. There's a lot of ass kissing in family events, even with different family members. These are the different life lessons that you learn. There's that little girl that's always, ma'am, we know that. We learn it. We know. We just got to be thick skinned. We learn about bullies. Bullies you find in the real world as people that would always want to put you down. Bullies you find in the real world as what we have now, the construction mafia. People that are taking money from people just for building. That is real life learning. How do I handle bullies? How do I handle a tough situation that is facing me? What do I do when I'm the one facing that situation? Sports. Let's talk about sports. I don't even think I need to go deep into sports because sports, I believe that every single person, every one of us watching this now, can have a story of how they've witnessed a child who used to play sports either in Lukshini, either in their different suburbs, in a different neighborhood, and then they were great at school. They got so much medals at school, and now that person is a professional footballer, is a professional cricket player, is a professional rugby player, whatever sport it may be, is an athlete. We all have that story to tell. Then we come to the one that really, really irks our entrepreneurs. When I say irks, it really points and really, really, really points. It picks at them. It's in the manner of how we are marked. Tests, exams, it is how we are marked down. It is telling us that a percentage is what makes you good enough or doesn't make you good enough. How do we apply this to the real world? How do we tell children about the passing of tests and exams? Let's lay it out this way. When you start a business, you don't start at the top. You start at the bottom. That is your class test. Once you're able to beat the bottom slump, meaning that your daily routines that you have to wake up every single day, you have to make sure that you learn about the business that you want to go into. You need to know the information about the business you're going into. You need to know information about the different career that you want to go into. You need to know information about the different services that you want to provide to different people. If you want to be a chef, you need to learn what food goes with this food, what food goes with this food. And that doesn't start you off jumping to the top and being the best chef ever. We start at the bottom. Those are your class tests. Then we have to write cycle tests. Then we have to write exams. Then we write our finals. How you are graded tells you whether you are doing good or not. So if I grade at 30%, I know I'm not really doing that great. So if I put together a good dish, I invite 10 people. The next time to my establishment, I invite people and only 3 pop up. That's the 30%. That means you did not prepare the meal to the best of your ability. What do? I got to regroup. I got to start again. I got to learn, okay, the taste for this wasn't so great. Maybe I'm going to make it this way. You got to regroup. You're doing construction. You've built a building. It's not really straight. After 2 years, it fell. A building's supposed to last a lifetime. We've got stories that we can tell of bridges in our country that were built, that fell, that didn't even last over 10 years. We've got stories of people that got hurt by their houses. We've got stories of RDP housing that wasn't built correctly. Those are your tests that you take each and every Friday that you're at school, each and every month, each and every term, and finally your year-end test. You start off small. You don't go into a job and you know exactly what to do. They'll start you off, they'll tell you, can we have Sarah train you? Sarah's there training you, telling you, no, you don't have to do this. It will take you a couple of months to just get into the swing of things. It takes you a couple of years before you can even get to get in the promotion. These are the things that basically we learn from school. Why I say this is because I want us as parents, especially, because the teachers are doing the school vibes, right? Now, as parents, learn how to leverage school for your children. Learn how to use the different lessons that they learn at school to give to your child. Like all the things I've just counted now. Learn how to use an example to show your child that in due time, this is where you need to go. In due time, this lesson is teaching you that in life you might face such a situation. I want you, my child, to be ready. And you as a student, whether you're in high school, whether you're in primary school, whether you're in varsity, whether you're in college, wherever you are, you're in a learnership, you've just completed school last year. Our matrix are excited. We've got a great pass rate coming that came through. We've got the top student in our country that came from a public school, not a private school. You know, the young lady that passed. So those are lessons to learn. That my child, if you don't feel great being in this school, you don't have to be in a private school to say that you've achieved a great education. You don't have to be there for you to be validated that you are good enough in this world. Let us as parents learn. Number one, when you're able to teach a lesson, it's because you found a gratitude in where you are. The gratitude of school plays a vital role in your child's life. Be grateful that your child is in school. Be grateful that your child is actually taking the time to ensure that they try and pass. Be grateful that your child is trying their best to make you proud. Remember, in life, the lesson is it's you against you. You look in the mirror, you fight you every day. You make sure you try to stay consistent with the things you do. You put effort in the things you do. You stay disciplined for the little things you do. For the big things you do, you become a good parent. You become a good role model in society. And you do best at your career, trying to earn the highest income possible. Yes, we follow passion. We follow XYZ, you know. But like they say, passion doesn't pay the bills. It is very few that we can count whom have really followed passion and passion has come through for them. In this world, it's about finding leverage in the things you do. It's about finding a skill that will take you ahead. It's about finding the different loopholes, about finding the friendships that will help you get to the next level. A CV doesn't get you there. The friends that you made at school, there's people that have been friends for over 20 plus years. Now I'm talking about people who are my age. That today they're able to touch base with each other and say, my man, I know you're in this industry. Please help me out. I'm trying to get to this person. I'm trying to get to XYZ. There's a funny joke about school that a lot of people get into where we drew locusts, you know. There was quite a bit of drawings of insects at school. All right. And everybody had to be as accurate as possible with the insect, label it correctly, and make sure that it's depicted in the best way possible for my textbook. Everybody's walking around saying, I don't have to draw insect today. I don't have to do drawings today. Guess what? In school, it was a bunch of us. The teacher didn't know who's going to be an architect. Teacher didn't know who's going to be an artist. Teacher didn't know who's going to be a designer. So we all go through the same lessons, only to find ourselves in the different things we learn. Now, you are an architect today. You need to be very, very accurate with the drawings that you do. You need to know what you're labeling. The building that you present, we need to know where's the bathrooms, where's the foyer, where's the offices. That's the labeling part. Now, is it correct to say that school does not teach us about the real world? Is it correct for our entrepreneurs and our successful people to debunk school? I say this because a lot of kids, I do career guidance through LICAP. When we're sitting and helping kids with career guidance, one of the biggest questions that come up is, but so-and-so didn't finish school, but so-and-so didn't finish matric, but so-and-so didn't do this. But I heard so-and-so say on their podcast that school doesn't teach us anything. I'm saying to you as an entrepreneur, let's start giving our children the right advice. What is the right advice? Learn leveraging different aspects of your life. School is not bad. School is not about not teaching you anything. Learn to be able to leverage the good parts, and you know how you do that is by being grateful of where you are. Find gratitude. Be consistent in what you do. Be content about who you are, but have the hunger to be able to drive much further than where you once were and to where you see your dreams. Sky's the limit. Don't let anything limit you. As a parent, don't limit your child as well. Find their strongest points. Work on the strongest points. Forget about their weaknesses. If a person has a weakness X, they'll never be great at it. So focus on what they're good at and make sure that they're